I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at important messages from Spirit. As you can see, we have 4 groups in front of us, but before I get into that, I just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. I have been doing zodiac signs simultaneously. There should be one coming out at the exact same time as this. I regularly like to change up what the central focus of those zodiac signs are. And I just wanted to kind of engage with you guys and ask, would you like me to stick to one concept regularly? Did you have a particular category you want me to give more focus to after I finish up the remaining couple signs and focus on next time? Kind of like we did before with career, or maybe it's more career or love or spiritual or whatever. I just wanted to engage with you guys and ask, what are you feeling? Are you enjoying the zodiac sign stuff? Let me know in the comments below. As usual, I love reading them, and feel free to thumbs up anybody's comments you particularly resonate with. It will make it easier for me to be like, oh, okay, so many people liked this comment. Clearly, this is a thing. Because unfortunately, they took away being able to take polls, which is super frustrating. So I am not able to get exact numbers like I did last time, but that is temporary. So we'll figure out something a little easier in the future. But for now, I just wanted to, find out what do you guys feel about the situation. Anyways, back to the reading. In group number 1, we have Angelite. Group number 2, we have Obsidian. Group number 3, we have Yellow Jasper. And group number 4, we have Clear Quartz. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the group that you resonate with most. It can be either due to the crystal or just, you're just vibing that section of cards. Let me give you a moment to do that. Now that you've picked your group, you can go down to the description where you can skip to your designated group and marked timestamp. But let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's look at those important messages from Spirit by looking at the cards. We've got 8 of Wands upright, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and King of Wands upright. Let me look at this for a moment. Okay, so I have 2 spirit guides working with me today, and both of them are pointing towards the importance of the Page of Cups in reverse card. This is talking about right now, there's something very obvious being told to you. This would be like casual guidance and advice your friends are giving you, or your family, or whatever, symbolism. It's being thrown in your face, and you're just sort of unintentionally ignoring it and not aware of it, and that is what is preventing or sort of slowing down what can be helped in the Wheel of Fortune in reverse card. We're going to come back to this and get a little more specific. So in the Wheel of Fortune in reverse card, this is what I'm being told by my spirit guides is bad luck, or a cycle that needs to end, that is being disguised by what appears to be bad luck. I'm being told there's no misfortune plaguing you. Everything's okay. It isn't just like a bad series of events happening, that there's something karmically wrong going on here. Because I am being shown in many cases, it's just an overall like things not syncing up quite right. Maybe you didn't get that job you wanted. Things feel a little off. You didn't get the exact schedule or shift you wanted. Things feel a little off when you were sorry about that, I just hit the mic. When you were trying to connect with somebody. And in some cases, I'm being shown it's just full on, it was just really bad, something bad happened, and you were just like, oh my gosh, why does this keep happening? Well, there is, again, going back to the cycle or habitual habit that keeps going around and about over and over again, and you need to break free of that and get out of that cycle. This cycle is something not obvious. It's not like an unhealthy, is it an unhealthy cycle? No, okay, I'm getting it. It's not an unhealthy cycle. So an unhealthy cycle would be like maybe you aren't taking care of your body or something like that, right? You're not doing anything in that regard. It would be something trivial and sort of innocent. We're going to use as an example for this spread, you're working too much and you're not taking a break like you know you probably should in order to rejuvenate and then be able to have a much healthier balance between having fun and taking care of yourself and actually working hard and making all your dreams come true, so to speak. And this, we'll just say what looks like disguised misfortune, again, there's nothing actually bad happening to you, are sort of signs in the universe of saying, see how this cycle isn't working for you anymore. See how this habit isn't meant to make you more successful. You want success. You keep doing this over and over again. It's not working. We're trying to show you how much it's not working. Now, that's not the only message being ignored here in the Page of Cups. Page of Cups in reverse is more of practical guidance. So this would be something very casually said to you that it doesn't kind of ring home or hit true to your heart quite. It's like the type of thing where, so again, we're using the example of you're working too much. It would be a friend being like, hey, you look kind of tired. Do you want to take a break? Maybe you should take a day off. And you're like, oh, no, not a big deal. And then you're not thinking about it. You're on to the next task. And then before you know it, as you're driving around, you see all these mattress stores. And it's just like the universe is throwing it in your face of being like, go take a break. I am being told by my spirit guides that this guidance would be very matter of fact and simplistic. It's not too deep. It's not this whole philosophy you have to take on. It's just as simple and practical as go take a break or something like that. Or maybe you're not being proactive enough. Go be proactive and make something happen, which we're actually going to get a little more into, because while the specific cycle needing to be broken isn't being told in this exact spread, it does say where you should head to and where you're going to be heading towards, which can be a good in between the lines of reading what you need to break through the cycle. So I wanted to tell you, not only do we have double confirmation here and here that the cycle will be broken, this is not a maybe, or if you do, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a natural, you will hear the guidance, you will overcome it, and then these type of events in the Wheel of Fortune and reverse card will finally end. So that's great. But also, over here in the Eight of Wands, it is showing, and I am being told by my spirit guide, that it is mostly career based. I'm asking if it's anything else like love or whatever. No, it's mostly career oriented. And I'm being told ideas that will become profitable. This is showing you that a lot of these opportunities, lots of maybe we'll just call them gigs to earn money, lots of freelance stuff. I'm just giving examples here. This isn't explicitly being said by my spirit guide. They just said opportunities or ideas that can actually be built into something profitable are waiting right around the corner. And you having to constantly manage fixing up what isn't working and being distracted by this cycle that doesn't allow anything else to come in. The second you start to listen to what that sort of simplistic guidance that's being thrown in front of you, start listening, and this ends, this large amount of, it's like money in a different kind of way, if that makes sense. Instead of just being like, you're going to make a lot of money, it's like you're going to be receiving a lot of opportunities that will equal more money. But this card is more of a bigger branching concept. So this is not just money, but for some people that it's important. It's like respect and clout and long-term success. Because if you build up this sort of resume or repertoire or portfolio, or whatever you want to put it as, this will have a longevity that will continue from this. So we love that. And again, that's going to naturally flood into your life real quick after you realize the cycle that needs to be broken. Again, it can be as simple as, oh, I need to take a nap once in a while. You start taking those naps, boom, everything starts flooding your way, which is beautiful. Over here, one of the first indicators of you moving out of this cycle is you going out of your comfort zone, I'm being told. You're going to kind of, it's interesting. The Page of Cups in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I can tell you at the minimum that whatever this cycle is it keeps you caged into your small little world and doesn't have you look up and interact with anybody else or look up and think, does anyone else have an opinion? Is it different from mine? I'm just giving examples here. And over here, you're kind of pushing yourself out of that comfort zone, not only socially, but there is a feeling of going out of your way to be proactive in a way you normally wouldn't. And we can get really specific here in the King of Wands. You are going to take on more of a sort of leadership kind of role, but a leadership role specifically oriented around whatever you truly love to do. So example, whatever your ideas are, this can be, does this have to be them going out on their own with these specific ideas? No. Okay, I'm getting a no from that. So if you're at a job where it's maybe not your dream job, but you're making money or whatever, I'm sure you have ideas of how it can run more efficiently or particular things you like to do at that section of the job. This is you standing up, going to your boss, being vocal to the rest of your peers and saying, I think it should be done this way, or this is what I personally would like to offer, and being very vocal about it and basically asking people to take a chance on you and group up. And I can tell you right now, especially with the Four of Pentacles, I have to put out there, it's so important for you to push out of this comfort zone. I can see that it's going to be difficult. It's really not your jam, and that's totally understandable. Who cannot I don't know many people that are very comfortable in just, it's like going up in front of everyone and saying, I'm starting a club, and this club has to do with maybe like playing cards or something like that. And you're just announcing it to all your peers, and they're like, okay. And you're like, would you like to join my club? And they're like, and you're just sitting there vulnerably. It feels like that, but nonetheless, you are being put towards that direction, essentially. This looks like there's something else I'm being told on. Okay, the last thing that I'm being told, and the reason why it's so important you take a leadership role, and then this opens you up to more of the opportunities too, because you'll be more noticed. More of the people who are providing the opportunities are going to be like, oh, well, they're the person in charge. They look can-do. I'll give them more of that, I'll give them this chance to make more money and fulfill this project idea. But over here with the salamander, I'm being told by like choosing your own fate and saying, I can open myself up to opportunity in this kind of way. I can choose where I want to be placed at my occupation. I can make my own fun, so on and so forth. I can show people who I want to be, how I want to be portrayed and treated and seen. Over here, the reason why that's important is because the salamander, normally it would be connected and be biting its tail. This is very important because this is talking about, in this case, about the idea of things beginning and ending and beginning and ending through action. There is this fear deep and subconsciously inside you that if you take a chance and you express how you feel and you try to be a leader, that it might not work. Or worse, it works, it's great, and then suddenly it starts to lose its steam, and then it ends. But when the salamander bites its tail, it implies that while there might be endings, there are new beginnings. And that as you start to stop associating endings with the idea that, one door closes, another opens, and then you jump to the next opportunity where you can sort of ride out that new fun wave of success and leadership and passion and that type of thing, you start to understand that there is no fear for things ending, so there's no fear for starting things. Because every time you feel something ending, it will be more like, oh, we're just changing it up, and now I will be successful in a new way. I will start a new opportunity in a new way. So that's the biggest thing I notice here. Whatever's going on in the Page of Cups in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune, it is something that you do all the time. It's your schedule, it's comfort zone, it keeps you out of place. You like to go to work when you go to work, come home, have fun the way you do, and then that's it. There's not really a change up, and you need to change things up, change your schedule up from taking on a more leadership position, which opens you up to more opportunities, and that changes your schedule and the way you approach things even more, and so on and so forth. You're needing it. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to teach you this beautiful lesson, but that lesson isn't meant to, in the long term, as you're enjoying all this success and good things coming your way, it's not that it will be good and then end immediately. It's just showing you that it's worth taking the risk, and eventually when it does lose its steam and you're maybe not in that position that you were once in anymore, you're like, that's okay, now I can go create a new position or apply for a new position, and it will continue and continue and continue, and you will see more of the positive upswing when there are the downflows, rather than, oh no, what if one day this happy moment I'm experiencing ends? Now, just to be clear, that does not foreshadow you getting fired or anything bad happen. This is a normal influx and then like up and down sort of wave, how it feels any place you work at. It's more of a feeling rather than a position being lost or gained. So yeah, I'm excited for the cycle that's not working for you to end, and all of this money and new adventure, you could put it as, coming your way. If you enjoyed this reading as much as I did, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's look at those important messages from Spirit by looking at the cards. We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse, Four of Cups in reverse, and the Emperor in reverse. Give me one moment to check with my spirit guides. Oh. Okay, cool. Okay, great. This is going to sound a little rough in the beginning, but good news, it's going to get a whole lot better by the end of it, so stick around. So let's first talk about what's going on in the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. These are both pretty important because it explains the chain of events that's going on over here in the Four of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So the Ace of Wands shows us that at some point you just kind of lost your way. It's a bit of apathy. It's like you're having trouble fully understanding what it is that you want. There's a passion disconnect, as I like to put it, when we have this card. And it looks like you're in need for a change, and you're aware you're in need for a change, but something's stopping you. One of the biggest reasons why you're being stopped is a combination of not really knowing what it is you want to do or what you're interested in. And we're not just talking about career. Let me just double check. It's both. Okay, it's both career, and in addition to career, it is when you, when you live life. What gets you, do you wake up excited about living life? Or is it just kind of like, yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. You're not even thinking about it. You know what I mean? Both of these things stimulated what's going on, or caused, my goodness, me and my vocabulary when I start doing this. This is what then caused in the Page of Swords in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse is when you start thinking the worst of yourself and preemptively giving up and creating a negative narrative in your head, already assuming it's not going to work out, already assuming you're not good enough. And it is a very vocal and verbal dialogue that isn't something you just feel, but it's something you tell yourself actively. If there's an opportunity that pops up, this voice in your head pops up even faster, putting you down and how you're somehow not worthy of it, or you shouldn't even invest your time because would it even work out in your favor? And this definitely acts as sort of a wall and prevents any sort of momentum of understanding, well, what does get you excited? Because keep in mind, when we don't know, that's okay. You go on a little bit of a self-discovery journey and you try out different things and you figure it out. But if everything that you possibly entertain in your head as, oh, maybe I should try that out, and you're telling yourself internally, nah, it's a waste of money, you don't have time, you probably wouldn't even like it, then of course nothing gets attempted, and then you don't get any closer. It's kind of like that motivational poster that people tease about. It's something like, you miss 100% of the, basketball shots you take, if you don't make them, essentially. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But then that's what's causing what's over here in the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This not only shows financial opportunities and just general finances kind of sort of leaving you, but I'm being told this is just a representation of general opportunity. Like in life, you know, experiencing sort of anything fun out of your comfort zone. And that includes not just passionate interests, it's like a wider scope. Often this card takes the form of a seed. Think of it like a seed, and it being, you want this seed because when you are able to plant it, you are able to watch it bloom into something even bigger. So it's exciting to have a tiny little morsel of what you personally are interested in, your like whatever hobbies are getting you going, and this isn't even coming your way. Again, this does include financial gain, both just like extra money as well as opportunity to make more money, and it seems to be moving away from you. This can change, and we will get into that in a moment, how you can change that, but this is all due to the focus going on over here. This is what then caused the Four of Cups, and I want to talk about the Four of Cups being upright, but then I'm happy to report that it's in reverse. When we have the Four of Cups upright, this type of emotion is kind of interesting. Not in many cases, it can be, like most people who feel this way are apathetic. Just like I said, they're not quite that upset that they're not passionate about anything. They're not even realizing it's actually an issue or a problem. They're not really feeling that down about it. They don't feel great, but they're not really beating themselves up. In this particular case, I am being, I was picking this up, and then my spirit guides are confirming with me that for many of you, though, there is a confusion of, I'm not trying to downgrade your feelings, but what feels like sadness is actually just frustration that nothing is getting you exciting in life. And it can feel kind of sad to think about it, but you're not just purely sad. Again, sadness is real, but if you can kind of have the opportunity in the Four of Cups says you can change this. If it was a much more deeper sadness, we would need to essentially heal something. That's the best way I can put it. But in this case, you have a choice to go, wait a minute, I can change my attitude. I can change the way I'm approaching things. You know what? This isn't so bad. I can make a quick decision to overcome this, compared to when you're very, very, very deeply sad. It takes a lot of time, a lot of healing, a lot of gentleness. There's usually a very good reason why you are very down, whether that be chemical or an event that happened, which is understandable for both. So this is a positive thing. We're not hating on the other version, which is sadness that is sort of earned, you could say. It's just the reassurance that there is you have a lot of control in this situation, essentially. So in the reverse, I'm happy to say that you're overcoming that state. I can see it confirmed over here. It gets confirmed over here as well with the Emperor reverse. Over here, I'm being told by my spirit guide that this was kind of a state you were in for so long. It sort of started to become your mantra, your foundation, and this is how you started to think, well, I'll build stuff upon this. That's the whole idea behind the Emperor card. Think of a cement block foundation, and then on top of it, you build your structure. And the structure is all the other things you want to experience. And your foundation is like your core belief system, the core way you want to approach things, the core of, like, you want to make sure that's really solid in whatever you want. And your core foundation wasn't your dreams and goals and ambition or whatever specific things that brought you joy in life that you built upon and explored, but just the general sense of apathy and just kind of feeling like, yeah, this is just who I am, when it's not true at all. And I'm really happy to say, through this self-awareness, the active choice to be like, you know what, I want to fight against this, and starting to change your mindset. We'll get into that in a second. This is what is going to basically crumble that foundation. Suddenly you'll have a sense of being able to breathe in a way you didn't even know you were. It's almost like you're in a smoky room and you're not aware of it your whole life, and then all of a sudden you open the door and you leave the room and you're like, oh wow, I had no idea what fresh air felt like. And that's essentially what it feels like as this foundation crumbles. It's not going to be overwhelming to experience. It's going to be exciting. You will be rebuilding it, and it will be a fun process that will not feel difficult, I am happy to say. So the two main things we want to focus on that can help with all of this is, again, that it is a choice. And if you're like, no, but I really feel sad, stop. You can choose to sit in that sadness and feel frustrated, or you can choose to be proactive and see if there's something you can do. I'm not saying you can't feel sad or apathetic during the time you're being proactive. It does take time. But if you feel like you can get up out of bed and try different things out, then go for it. Do it. Be proactive. Know that you tell yourself, I am more in control than I'm giving myself the ability or awareness of. And I'm going to be aware, and I'm going to be and take hold of that opportunity and ability, essentially. The other is when we talk about being proactive, every time your brain says, oh, it's not going to work out, it's not worth it, go towards it. Yes, comfort it, try to stop that inner monologue, but honestly, just prove it wrong by saying, oh, I shouldn't go do that. Thank you for giving me that little hint. That means I should go work on it. I should go try out that thing and explore it, see what else can come of it, which is really fun and exciting. This will slowly help you figure out, well, what does get you excited about life? And understand that this is not an overnight process. It should be fun. It's okay. You shouldn't feel overly frustrated. That's the overarching theme that I see that you will be picking up before you even find what gets you passionate about life, is just the excitement of knowing, like, hey, sometimes, sorry about that, my neighbors started whistling really loudly. Anyways, what I was going to go back to saying was, I'm happy to say that one of the things that you will experience before you receive exactly it is that whatever gets you excited, there is the awareness that if you try out some sort of hobby or thing, or maybe you like people watching or whatever, or you like looking out at nature, whatever that may be, if you discover trying something out that it's just not for you, you learn that it's not a big deal, and you had a fun memory and experience nonetheless, and now you can kind of sort of check off your proverbial list that that's not the thing for you. You can try something out, and you start to kind of become so lighthearted, and you're like, oh, well, if everything's sort of nonetheless a fun thing to experience, it's worth trying it out, and I can be patient about when I find it, because the process itself is fun and much better and exciting to experience about life in itself than just being stuck in this cycle. Okay, I'm so sorry again. I swear my neighbor's doing that on purpose, because they not only whistled this time, but they shook their drink full of ice really aggressively in a way that, I don't know, doesn't feel normal? What are you gonna do? Anyways, no worries. Back. Thank you for your patience. So that's a big thing. And the last thing that I want to say that you should infuse with all of this is what's going on over here. Do not see yourself as someone who's missing out on opportunities, or even think about finances in the least. If you're worried about money, you have to put it outside your head and just focus on the fun of tapping into your enthusiasm about life. As you don't focus on this, it's like the finances find you, so to speak, and it will all beautifully work out in the end, where you will feel like more opportunities are coming your way while simultaneously feeling a lot happier. It's very much like the universe truly works out beautifully in divine timing and how it works. For all we know, you weren't receiving I'm getting actually confirmation from my spirit guide. You weren't receiving the things that you... Can a girl film her tarot video? My goodness, then I got a phone call. I apologize. Anyways, going back to what I'm saying, for all we know, and I got a confirmation from my spirit guides, that when you were not experiencing and getting all these financial things and so on and so forth, it's because you wouldn't have even enjoyed them to begin with. This is sort of gearing you up, so as you have this flood into your life, you can properly be like, wow, this is so great. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm so happy. You know what I mean? So I love that. And please give a like, comment, or subscribe and share to this video. I had so many interruptions. It would mean a lot to me, and it helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3, let's find out what important messages does Spirit have for you by looking at the cards. We have the Lovers in reverse, 3 of Pentacles, not pumpkins, upright, Page of Pentacles, 3 of Swords in reverse, and Page of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. I'm already thinking and looking at some stuff, and my spirit guides are confirming with me. I can actually get started right away. I know exactly what's going on here. Right now, you are in sort of a phase in your life that I will describe, especially over here, as sort of the student phase of your life, which essentially means that when you are in that place, you are learning. You are gathering information. You're aware that it's not quite the time to dive in and say, give me everything that I want. It can feel frustrating when you feel like you want to receive all of, and we're going to keep it really vague, and then we're going to get a lot more specific, keep in mind. So stick around. But it will initially feel like, I want to already be the CEO of my job. And essentially, right now is the time to understand important information, because you do not have the important information you need in order to actually be that version of yourself or receive that opportunity that you would like. Yes, that's frustrating. And in a particular case, I can see there will be resistance initially from you. You can change this, but I can see there will be resistance. But we can get into specifics of how this is beneficial for you and how it can be a really enjoyable process and be exactly what you need when you didn't know you needed it, so to speak. So let's get into it. So over here, the initial student is sort of the student of coin, we'll jokingly call it. So this is financially related. It looks like in your particular field, is this freelance for them, like their own business, or it's both? Okay, so some of you have your own business thing going on, and for some of you, you were at an actual, job working for other people. Well, actually, they're both jobs, but you know what I'm saying. You work for some sort of a company in some way. And right now, you were taking on the student's sort of mentality of going, and it specifically relates over here in the 3 of Pentacles. You are trying to figure out what is the best way that things can fit together. How can things more efficiently run by, and this is, I'm being really specific here because this is what I'm being shown, how can they specifically not flow better, but how can they fit together better in order to receive the best result? For some of you, this is the way something is crafted. Maybe you're some sort of artisan, because remember, this is for both people who have their own sort of freelance type of job. Maybe you have like your own Etsy store or something like that. And for some of you, it's at an actual place where you're working for somewhere else. So this could be understanding, well, how can my product be combined together so it doesn't fall apart? I need to get better at my craft in that kind of way. And in other cases, again, I always use the barista example. You were saying, how can this drink be put together better so it tastes better? And you're understanding how things fit, flow together in the way that they're fitted together like a puzzle piece. And this will in turn make you better at what you do. And then by the time you receive this opportunity, you are put in this placement, you are not only going to be able to handle it with much more ease, but you will continue to stay at that level of status and success because no one will be able to touch your abilities and your craftsmanship. And again, this can work in any sort of job situation. So let's say you're doing a lot of writing. Maybe you're the type of person that hires other people for other people. That is an actual job, if you can believe it or not. And you figure out what is the best, fit for certain people with certain occupations. And you become known as somebody who is the best at, that makes the people that you put in certain positions happiest, as well as the companies that get hired. And then you're the go-to person for understanding socially how everyone functions and works, and you create more teaching programs for other people that work in this profession. And you see what I'm saying? You can go and go and go and go. So right now you're basically being asked for the universe is be a little patient, focus on this, you will enjoy it, and just take on this sort of, humble attitude of being like, I am a student, I'm learning things, I'm understanding things. This is the way I will understand how to improve my quote unquote craft in the long run. Now, the other thing is we have sandwiched over here are these things associated. This specifically has to do with love. I can see with the Lovers in reverse, something didn't work out. And honestly, it's still really hurting you deeply. And when I say something, I'm referring to someone, a couple, you and someone else. It ended. And it must have been severely painful when we have a Three of Swords in reverse. The reason why I say it's severely painful for a Three of Swords in reverse rather than a Three of Swords situation is because Three of Swords upright usually refers to cheating or betrayal. It's just general deep heartbreak. But when it's in reverse, I often find this is taken on by the attitude of people that are in such terrible pain. They are aware that it will either go on for a while or the pain has been going on for a while. And so the person carrying the pain says, I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to pretend I'm good. I'm over it. I'm better now. Let's just move on. And it's frustrating. And anyone can understand, including the universe, that you would have that mentality. But here's the thing. This is where there's sort of a student of love, if you will. But I don't know if I would put it like that. We'll just say student of finding happiness within yourself, so to speak, when we have a Page of Wands in reverse situation. You are being told that while something didn't work out with another person, you are rushing the healing process. It is going to take a little while. I know that's not fun to hear, but you have to slow it down, because if you do not slow it down, it's not going to get better. You're not going to meet, Mr. or Mrs. Right by skimming over this process, essentially. So we need to slow it down, be kind to ourselves, be like, yeah, I don't feel great, and just kind of ride through it a little bit. Let those emotions process. And processing means you feel them and you let them go through. You don't push them away. Sometimes it's not even about understanding them. It's just about having an afternoon where you cry, you watch your favorite shows, you eat a snack, let it, pass through you. Just kind of be like, I don't feel great right now. But allowing yourself to not expect that the next day is going to be bad, but allowing yourself to be open enough that in the next morning you wake up, maybe it's a little easier, maybe it's a little better, so that the emotion can heal and work itself out. Is there a soul fragment missing in them? No. Okay, cool. So there is not a soul fragment missing, which is great. That's a whole different conversation. If you want me to make a video about that, I totally can. That's not an issue. Oh wait, hold on a second. I'm just double checking something. Nope. No. Okay. I thought one of my spirit guides said no. I thought my other one was saying yes. No, they're both saying no. So if you want me to make a video about that, I would be happy to make a video about soul fragments. They can happen from when we have traumatizing events in our life, essentially. And that can be anything from a breakup to literally you dropped something. But I can get into that if you're interested. So anyways, over here with the Page of Wands, this is you saying, okay, if I can't find the excitement and the sort of passion of, yeah, I'm me within myself, then how the heck is anyone else going to find it? That's sort of the goal you're focusing on. Not to find someone else, but to slow down and find yourself in that kind of way. So at first, you're just healing. You're realizing, you know what? I'm not okay. And you process it and you heal, give yourself a second. And then once you slightly feel a little better, it's not as bad as it was the day before, start to ask yourself, what makes me awesome? Start writing down in a journal every day 5 things you like about yourself. I mean, technically, if you want, it wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world if you did that at the same time that you were processing the pain. You're welcome to do that. It's more your comfortability level. But start to say every day, look in the mirror and say, I love me. I have always been good enough. Even if things around me haven't been great, or I think serve as some sort of evidence as my failures, they are things that have happened around me. They have been people processing their own emotions, their own ways of reacting about life. I still, at the end of the day, have always been good enough. And this is not a reflection on who I am as a person or my worth or what I am capable of attracting in my life. And you essentially just kind of slowly over time say nice things to yourself. Start to look at yourself both, sometimes it's just saying I love you in the mirror. And there can be a time period where maybe you don't feel it. It will get better in time and you will feel it in time. But essentially, as you slowly start to be you know what, I'm pretty cool. I actually like these things about myself. Realize that confidence is not ego. Then other people start to see it. And this is where you start to attract the experience and person you really want while simultaneously feeling fully healed. It will all come together. Seriously, I love this. I know it. And I just want to be clear about one last thing. I'm not trying to be too redundant, but a lot of people feel that it's easiest to say, I want it now. I'm tired of this. It's so understandable. But you can either go on a bunch of yo-yo diets and struggle and not really see the results you want over the course of 5 years, or you can really buckle down and get the results you want in 6 months. So consider that food for thought. I didn't mean to make so many food allergies or metaphors. Hopefully that didn't upset anyone. Anyways, I hope you are having a lovely day. I'm wishing you the best. Please consider giving this video a like, comment, and subscribe, and a share. It helps out like you would not believe. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's look at what important messages does Spirit wants you to know by looking at the cards. We've got 6 of Wands upright, Queen of Swords in reverse, 7 of Wands upright, the Empress in reverse, and the 4 of Pentacles upright. Okay, sorry, I was just taking in all the information and listening to my spirit guides. Okay, so we're gonna describe, this is what it's being mostly pointed out to me in the 7 of Wands. We're gonna call this the Activator card. Keep in mind, I usually use the term theme, the theme of the spread. This is not a theme. This is the Activator, the cause of everything else going on. And I want you to hear the full thing because there is positivity around the corner, but it's important to be aware of what's happening, what it's causing, understanding where these emotions are coming from so you no longer beat yourself up about it, and then in turn understand what it's affecting and preventing. But what it's preventing means it's right around the corner and you can have it if you want, essentially. So this is sort of an aha, oh, I wasn't looking at my scenario and my situation as a whole. Basically, I'm saying take a moment. It might be a little difficult to hear, but we're going to go into this, and it'll be wonderful here. By the way, this is nothing. This is not there's no criticism or anything bad you're doing. It's what you're going through. So first off, the 7 of Wands upright, I can see there is some sort of difficulty going on specifically with another person. There is a combination of a proactiveness to it and a defense to it. So sometimes, as a way of engaging and protecting yourself, you go after them first. And sometimes they are, going after you and you are putting your defenses up and defending yourself. This is something where, is it romantic? I'm being told in some cases. So sometimes it's friendship for some of these situations. Could it be a coworker? Very small percentage. Mostly friendship and romance. But either way, something's just... Can it be family? No, it's not family. Okay, just sorry. I'm going through my whole list. Essentially, this other person is pushing your buttons. It's just not working out. There is fighting, but it's just a general sense of annoyance and frustration, and it's consuming a lot of your attention, and it's having the side effect what's going on over here in the Empress card and the Four of Pentacles upright. This is important. The Empress in reverse is a card that is troubling to experience because she is a card of lacking, but in a totally different way than other cards like Four of Pentacles, and we can get more specific about this, where in the Four of Pentacles, this represents you feeling like you're lacking energy, resources, money. It's an amalgamation of things, and so you feel like, I gotta lock it down. I can't give anything else out because I don't feel I have enough to give. This results in people feeling emotionally closed off. The trust issues start to come up because they're sort of defense mechanisms, being like, I don't have enough to give. I gotta detect if somebody's going to take something from me. But it comes from an idea of lacking. While this is sort of just kind of a neutral, you kind of are holding back and holding on to what you have, and is being caused by both this and this, the Empress card is much more proactive. She not only is super aware that she is without, but she is aware that she is quite the opposite. Normally, you would be thriving. I see confirmation of that both in the Six of Wands and the Empress card in reverse. You are somebody who thrives. You could say in some cases the life of the party, depending on the varying degree of your expression. But when you like something, it's more than you being happy. It kind of sort of automatically becomes cool. There's an abundant flow to you that people feel and you are self-aware about. And you know it's more than just being happy again. It's feeling like your sort of inner glow is being taken away from you. So because there's an awareness of that missing and that lacking, she goes out and she needs, she asks for, she wants and she wants and she wants, and unfortunately nothing quite hits the mark or fulfills what is actually missing. And so unfortunately, it just causes her to need even more. And the worst part is there is a self-awareness to it. You feel, and excuse me, because I am not saying that this is who you are, it's more of an internal feeling. You feel needy. You feel like codependent, if you will, and it's super restless feeling and is uncomfortable to say the least. So there's that feeling of just needing a hug and things to be better and feel like it's almost like you need a hug from both, probably most likely the person you're combating with, but you kind of need a hug from the best version of yourself, the higher version of yourself, and be like, tell me everything's gonna be okay, tell me we're gonna get our sort of inner it girl back, so to speak. And it causes what's going on then over here to have both you locking it down, not being as open to this other person, which probably causes more of that Seven of Wands sort of combative element going on because they want to know, so they're pushing at your door when you're not ready, so to speak. And when I say door, I'm referring to like emotional door, energy door. They're asking things of you just do not have to give, but also you kind of can't stop interacting with them because as they're depleting you of many things, you also not only need to feel like you need to protect what you have, again referring to emotions, energy, even money, but you desperately need it to be rejuvenated fully. It's not enough for you just to survive. You need to thrive. There is not an in-between for you. You're not someone who can handle or feels okay with just being at the minimum neutral, content. You need to be the best version of yourself, which is a good thing, by the way. This is not a criticism. This is a great way that you function and work, and something many people work very hard to strive at. But this is an understanding of why am I not okay with just somewhat being content? Because that's not who you are. And we want to get to there. You should never be ashamed of who you are, especially when it's so glowy and amazing and wonderful. But then I want to talk about what's going on over here. Both of my guides told me that what's going on over here in the Six of Wands is it is a measurement and a sort of metaphor for your level of happiness. Six of Wands is a pretty high version of happiness. Think of this as, again, we talk about life of the party, thriving, excitement. It's not just happiness, it's bliss and feeling like there's no other place you'd rather be. And it is around the corner and something that you're very capable of tapping into and experiencing. But you're sort of, I would say, kind of unintentionally, intentionally, it's kind of like you're somewhat aware that you're not in the right place to be able to interact with other people or interact with this opportunity to be this happy, with a combination of your inner subconscious defense mechanism is kicking in when we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. She's basically saying to this happiness, back off, stay away. I cannot handle that right now. I'm just trying to get this on lockdown. And essentially, as it is in many scenarios, it's one thing affecting the other. And right now, you need happiness. You need this level of fun without all of this drama and intensity. And when you feel this way, it helps you not feel like somebody who is really struggling and feeling a version of themselves that, we'll just say it's like an unnatural part of you. You feel wrong because you know you're not being your truest self. And if you're not being your truest self, there's no in between. It's not the most comfortable way for you to function, which is then turning you to lock it down more, which makes them only prod you more, which all of this is then causing you to push this away when in turn you need this so badly. So see what I'm saying when I say hearing the situation as a whole of what's going on, and maybe, you know, some decisions being made, whatever they may be, whether this be, you know, talking out and having an honest conversation with this other person or pulling away, whatever that may be, it's smoothing this situation out because it is causing so much. And in addition to smoothing this out, which then in turn no longer causes you to have what the side effects are going on over here in the Empress card in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, but then you can finally let this go, which then in turn, this is the other huge thing you need. You need this to be smoothed out, and you need what's going on over here. You need fun. You need to feel like you can make decisions effortlessly. You feel confident in them. You're happy. You're carefree. You're not thinking. You need fun. And who doesn't relate to that and understand that? So I am wishing you the best because this is not out of reach. I want to be perfectly clear about that. But please be kind to yourself, that it's understandable why you feel the way you do. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I am wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. And yeah, bye.